So a new report out by, of all people, USA Today, that shows that companies that are in the S&P 500, well, some of them pay taxes. Do they pay the 35% rate they're supposed to pay? Almost no one pays that because, of course, they get subsidies, they get tax breaks, they get this, they get that from the government, which they conveniently happen to contribute to. But here's the interesting part. Turns out 1 out of 9 of those companies, top companies in the world, pay 0 in taxes. Nothing at all. Okay? That's 57 companies out of the S&P 500 that, because of different tax breaks, decide, oh, what could we do? Golly gee, decided not to pay any taxes. And now what's really sick about it is that it's perfectly legal. Look, in some cases it actually makes sense. Let's be fair about that too. So if a company loses money that year, they might be in the top 500 companies, they happen to lose money that year. Of course they don't pay taxes. Everybody understands that, right? And in cases like GM, they made a lot of money this year, but in previous years they had lost money because of accounting laws. They offset their profits from this year from losses from previous years. You can have an argument about whether that they should be allowed to do that or not, but at least it's within the realm of acceptable behavior. But the problem is that a lot of these companies are avoiding most of the taxes by putting their money in offshore havens. So there's a technicality in Irish law that they've taken advantage of. There's this thing called the double Dutch, which is not to be confused with the Dutch rudder. There's a lot of different tricks that they've got up their accounting sleeves. So they say, well, I didn't make that money in the U.S. The U.S., an American company, of course, when I'm getting breaks from the government, when I'm getting contracts from the government, I'm totally an American company. Someone give me a wave, give me a flag to wave. Yeah, right? Oh, but when I'm paying American taxes, oh, fuck no, I'm not an American company. No. I'm an Irish subsidiary. No, my real headquarters is in the Cayman Islands, silly. So these are, of course, the least patriotic entities in the world because they're a corporation. It's a robot. It doesn't have a sense of morality. It doesn't have a sense of patriotism. Its only sense is make as much money as possible. And if the American government, thanks to the donations I gave them, lets me park my money in Ireland or Cayman Islands, well, of course that's where I'm going to park it. Look, you know that the American government has loses out on $300 billion per year in tax dodging. That's on top of the tax avoidance that the corporations are doing. So they take so much money out of the system. Then they take a tiny percentage and give it to American politicians in the form of legal bribes who then come out and say, well, we've got all this money parked abroad from these corporations. We could stimulate the economy if we let them bring it in while they pay almost no taxes at all on it. That's called a tax holiday. They did it back in 2004, and they were arguing they should be able to do it again. And golly gee, some of those politicians who've gotten those checks from those guys might be convinced that that's a winning argument. Gee, I wonder how they would be convinced of that. Anybody know how to fix that? How did you know? You're right, wolf-pack.com, wolf-pack.com. Let's kick their ass and take our money back, okay?